and I would love to just gab with you, and we don't have to talk about Ellen. We can talk about everybody else.
Sorry.
Somebody in the office has a disgusting sinus infection and burned her face with a curling iron. And I know you can't report it to HR, but I tried. From The Cut and the Vox Media Podcast Network, this is Tefi Talks. I'm going to introduce the show a little differently because there is something I woke up with on my mind. And you probably were too. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell last week went on a podcast called the No Filter Podcast, and she talked about a lot of things. But she also talked about how Ellen DeGeneres broke her heart and now has broken mine. Okay, let me set the scene. So they were really good friends, or so Rosie thought. But in 2004, stay with me, Ellen goes on Larry King Live. Rest in peace. He's dead, right? Larry King said that he feels that JFK was a setup because he was like a journalist during this time and he was meeting with somebody who worked like as a government official. There's a video of him doing the interview saying that like they knew the guy who shot JFK, that he was that they had chosen him or something. It's crazy. In 1964 that he was a media professional. If somebody would have told him, hey, in 40 years, you're going to interview a lesbian, he'd be like, she's Lebanese, you know? Thank you. So Larry King brings up Rosie O'Donnell. Why? How many lesbians are there in show business? 3 max. I think there's 1 bisexual and 2 lesbians in Hollywood, right? Larry King brings up Rosie. And Ellen goes, I do not know Rosie O'Donnell. I am not friends with her. And Rosie's watching her friend on Larry King Live, mind you, still supporting Ellen, because still in the early 2000s, Ellen was blacklisted. I think when people say like, oh, cancellations aren't real, I remember being in Publix, begging my mom if I could please, you know, like get like a fruit roll-up or something, and seeing the Time magazine Ellen like this, I'm gay, which is such a gay thing to do too. Ta-da! And then I remember Ellen DeGeneres being cruelly canceled. I will never forget that cover. She was nowhere to be seen. She had a show called Ellen. And if you watched the Laura Dern episode of Tefi Talks, you did, right? I did a deep dive on Laura Dern's romantic relationships, her history. And Laura Dern played Ellen's love interest in the show. Ellen, not the talk show. She had like a episodic show. Rosie O'Donnell is one of the only people that stood by Ellen after Hollywood essentially kicked her out and hoped to never see her again. This is a quote from Rosie O'Donnell, right? That was one of the most painful things that ever happened to me in show business in my life. And she's talking about hearing Ellen deny knowing her on Larry King Live, right? I couldn't believe it. I have photos of her holding my newborn babies. I knew her for 30 years. If my bodega guy has a fucking attitude with me, my heart is broken the rest of the day, period. Ellen is so funny. Her pranks, when she would scare people, her guests, and then finding out that she's somebody who would throw soup at people. I'll never forget when somebody on Twitter said that they showed Ellen a video of some dog, and the dog started barking and she started screaming. Ellen started screaming, holding her ear, saying, the dog is in distress. The day that Twitter found out that Ellen was not nice is the day time stopped for me. I couldn't believe it. That goes to show that no matter where you are in your life, you could be a bajillionaire, cajillionaire, you could be a receptionist at the Vox Media Podcast Network. Sorry, I was getting a call from my boss, but a friendship breakup will rock your shit. I've gone through 3 friendship breakups in my life, and when someone brings up their names, I'm suddenly at a dock or a pier. My cardigan is swaddled around me. I'm smoking, like a Newport, and I'm like, so-and-so, I haven't heard that name in years. It will rock your shit. Support for Tefi Talks comes from Macy's. Putting together a fall outfit works kind of like putting together a puzzle. You take little pieces here and there that together complete a stylish, cozy picture. Or you can put together a whole outfit in one giant piece like a beautiful puffer maxi jacket. Whatever look you're going for this fall, you can find inspo from the Macy's Fall Fashion Guide. Explore their style guide for yourself and find your look. Shop in-store or online at Macy's.com. Support for the show comes from Dove. Finding a good deodorant that stays at your side, or rather under your sides, through thick and thin can be tough. That's why Dove made their aluminum-free deodorant. It's made to be gentle to skin, and it'll keep you smelling fresh for up to 72 hours. So finally, the search is over. An aluminum-free deodorant that won't let you down. Find your one true Dove. Choose Dove aluminum-free deodorant for 72-hour freshness and odor protection. Buy online at dove.com or at a retailer near you. Here at Tefi Talks, we like to talk about showbiz because there's no business like business that isn't mine. On the heels of their engagement breakup announcement, we'll be diving into Shaun White and Nina Dobrev's 5-year relationship. But first, let's get into some headlines. Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be the next Bachelorette. And if you know me, you know I immediately respect people with 3 first names. Taylor first rose to fame. Fame is a funny word to use. But she first rose to fame in 2022 after she revealed on TikTok to her 3.5 million followers that she was swinging with other Mormon TikTok couples in her friend group. I do think that friend group created the Moms of TikTok hashtag or something. It was like one of TikTok's like firsts, and they blew up and they were like characters on this social media platform that I'm familiar with. And she revealed that her marriage was ending because the other wives and their husbands would all swing with them. So what do you think when I say swinging? We think fucking, yes? Right? We think of those weird cruises. We all do. Pineapples. They pan the camera being like, first day on Lovers and Friends cruise. Everything's covered in tarp. You know why? Semen. So everyone was hooking up with like everyone. Taylor, Frankie, Paul tells TikTok. We find out later they were just making out. But what really happened? Taylor and one of the other husbands started having feelings for each other. And if I remember correctly, she gave him a BJ behind closed doors. Swinging, there's no closed doors, only tarp. So first it was just kissing, and then I think BJs. And then I think she started to secretly fuck him, okay? All around, I think the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or whatever is a terrible show. I think it's virtually unwatchable. I don't think it's the women's fault because that's good fucking drama. Mormons in great blowouts being mad at each other, sign me up. I think the producers of the show are terrible. It is so hard to keep up with, and I don't understand why people try to be like different from Bravo. Just Bravo it. Just Bravo it, you know? Now that they know Taylor Frankie Paul's background, there is a different tie to this Bachelorette, and people feel like they're rooting someone on that they've been following now for 5 years. I think it's genius. Oh, the filing cabinet bit me. Jesus, workers' comp. I think this is like a genius move. And that means anyone on TV or TikTok right now could be a Bachelorette. It opens up the whole universe. If I saw one more Bachelorette like running on a pier talking about how she's been looking for the love of her life and she was cheated on once, I'll quit. I'll quit. No, just kidding. I really need this job. And one day I might get health insurance, so. Hilaria Baldwin, Alec Baldwin's Spanish wife from Mallorca, Boston School District, is going to be on Dancing with the Stars. According to Hillary, I refuse to call her Hilaria. I refuse to call her Hilaria. Hilaria Baldwin says that Alec encouraged her for years to go on the show, but she thought given her years of ballroom dancing, she was too experienced. Quote, for years I've been saying, I've got a lot of experience. Is that a problem? Apparently it's not. I don't think so because Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls went on Dancing with the Stars, right? So then I know what you're thinking. What about her 7 American Caucasian children that she all named Spanish names? Where will they be? No worries. They're all coming. Quote, I'm bringing everyone. We just decided to do something crazy and that we'd all go to LA. You're so fucking crazy. Can you tell me the names of her 7 children? I beg of you. Her white, fully American children are Carmen, Maria, Hilaria, Rafael, Leonardo, Romeo, and Eduardo. She is Hillary she went to private school in Boston, and her parents would vacation in Spain. That is like if I went to Costa Rica every summer and came back with a tattoo on my chest that said Pura Vida. Are you out of your fucking mind? I will also say this, and I know what you're thinking, like, Tefi, a little hostility. The only reason it annoys me to the 100th degree is because I think pretending to be an immigrant is deplorable. I think it's deplorable. Also, as a child of immigrants, the one thing we want is to be accepted into like these white spaces. Obviously in Miami, there are more Miguels and Michaels, of course. But still, I grew up with people making fun of, I don't know, my dad's accent. So to put on an accent, and it's so many immigrant parents' worst nightmare that their children will adopt an accent that will deter them or will deter employers from hiring their children, that so many first-generation kids do not speak Spanish because their parents would not allow them to speak Spanish in the house so they could speak like other American people. So to come on and to wear an immigrant status like a costume is so weird to me. It's so odd. You'll never know what it's like to leave everything you know and go across an ocean. You'll never know what it's like to be in a new place where you don't speak the language, where you have to learn a new language, be in a classroom where one day, you know, you're suddenly surrounded by people that are not where you come from, that don't speak the same language as you. You'll never know what it's like to be lonely. You'll never know what it's like to have the pressure to start over and provide for a family across an ocean. It's so odd to me. Of course, I understand why she wants to do it. There is this like weird phenomenon sometimes with people that they want to pretend like they've had more like struggles or something. I honestly don't understand it. I've never been in a situation where I'm like, oh, I hope I have more struggles later. Or like, also, I know in this position, I look like I'm really struggling because I'm missing one press-on, but focus. And I don't think anybody should be ashamed of where they come from, even if it's Boston. She danced ballroom salsa, so she might kill it, and I hope she does. I think it'd be important for Romeo, Eduardo, Carmen, Hilaria, y Maria, and whoever else to see their immigrant mother succeed. Mariah Carey will be headlining Amazonia Live today and always. This is a concert with a floating stage in the Amazon to raise awareness about the importance of protecting the rainforests. And that's my fucking girl. That's my girl, activist Mariah. Let's go. I know this is Mariah's like dream performance. Do you remember in a previous episode of Tefi Talks, dare I say the first one, we talked about how when she arrives backstage before a show, she asked for 40 humidifiers around her dressing room so she can prepare for her shows in rainforest-like conditions. And then she had the humidifiers on in the arches of her house so that the droplets of water could like just slide down easily. Like she thinks of everything. She loves a little humidity. We're gonna get a performance of a fucking lifetime. I will do anything to go see Mariah Carey. I'm just letting you know. I'll be in charge of the humidifiers. I'll turn them on, turn them off. I'll go to like Max. I'll refill them, whatever you need. Like, you know. And if anybody watching is from Santa Elementary, you might recognize me from the 1998 Christmas recital where one girl was supposed to do the solo, but last minute I decided to get up on stage with her and sing All I Want for Christmas Is You. So she was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, we're going to miss our cue. Speaking of pipes, Olympic snowboarder Shaun White and actress Nina Dobrev announced this Thursday that they are ending their engagement after 5 years together. And we'll be shredding all that gnar after the break. Quick, what does gnar mean?
Like shred the gnar?
Yeah, what does it mean? You're from California, that's so sad. Support for Tefi Talks comes from Macy's. Summer's almost over, and that means it's time to cycle your wardrobe to the cold setting. No! Everyone loves a breezy summer outfit, but honestly, layering is one of the best things about fall fashion. I love good color blocking. I never left 2012, and I never will. Dare I say, yellow and orange Ooh. In any case, when it comes time to pull out your trusty cold weather staples and you realize your favorite sweater's on its last legs, do not worry. Macy's is ready with a new one. Their fall fashion guide is your one-stop shop for fall's latest trends and must-haves, curated by their experts. It makes it look easy to find the perfect layering pieces and the perfect look for you. That could be a bomber jacket from Levi's, warm knits from Tommy Hilfiger, or a belted puffer from Karl Lagerfeld. Explore their style guide for yourself and find your look. Shop in-store or online at Macy's.com. Support for the show comes from Dove. We live for the moments that sweep us off our feet, like landing in a new city at night and seeing a beautiful skyline, or that moment on a first date when you realize you actually want a second one. Your deodorant should be worthy of all the amazing adventures you take it on. And now it is, with aluminum-free deodorant. With scents like coconut, pink jasmine, cucumber, and green tea, Dove aluminum-free deodorant offers long-lasting freshness with 72-hour protection. It's formulated without ingredients like aluminum, baking soda, and parabens, and it provides a clear, comfortable application. With Dove, you can give your underarms the same level of care you give the rest of your body. And the next time you're swept off your feet, you can raise your arms and fall freely, with not a thought given to body odor. The search is over. An aluminum-free deodorant that won't let you down. Find your one true Dove. Choose Dove aluminum-free deodorant for 72-hour freshness and odor protection. Buy online at dove.com or at a retailer near you. Shaun White and Nina Dobrev met after both being booked for a speaking engagement with life coach Tony Robbins, who is in Shallow Hal. Huge hands. You remember how he grips Jack Black? No? Don't watch it. It's not very PC for today. After the event, Shaun and Nina went out to dinner, and Shaun White claims that he did not know how famous Nina was. I'm always suspicious when men say this about their other famous counterpart booze. I think it's a little weird. I didn't even know Simone Biles' husband. I didn't know she was that big of a deal. You're an athlete. Simone Biles is an Olympic legend. They call her the LeBron of gymnastics. Be so fucking for real. Apparently, when they went to the restaurant and he did not know how famous he was, the staff tap him and hey, can we take a picture with her? And he was like, who the fuck? You know exactly who the fuck she was, please. You're gonna tell me that the speaking engagement, they don't do intros? I've been to a speaking engagement, and hear me now, liar. In February 2020, the two did a soft launch of sorts. Nina and Shaun posted separate photos at the same South African safari. In March 2020, the world shut down, and Shaun and Nina did what all couples did. You either got super, super fucking serious, or you broke up. A source told E! News that Nina and Shaun have been spending a lot of time together recently. Their relationship doesn't have an official title right now, but that's pretty normal for Nina. Slay bitch. Shredding that gnar. Also, in April 2020 fashion, Nina posts a video washing her groceries, wearing plastic gloves, and there's a mystery pair of hands helping her wash her groceries. What a dark time. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've washed a grocery since. No, of course I have. No, you know what it is? I don't go to the grocery store. I'll wash an apple. Whatever. Oh, you're so much better than me. Whatever. And we continue to learn about the relationship between Nina and Shaun via Instagrams. They hard launched in May 2020, showing that Nina gave Shaun a haircut. And by September, she's fully gushing about her man on Instagram. And they spent Christmas together. The whole shebang, okay? I've never said shebang before. How'd I do? It's scary. The 2022 Winter Olympics really got them into their feels, as the youth say. Nina remembers Shaun being shocked when they went snowboarding for the first time. Nina said, he was expecting to wait for me, and it was quite the opposite. I had already passed him by a landslide. I can keep up. Nina Dobrev is an interesting character. She excels at everything she does. I feel like she's the kind of person that tries something once and she's incredible at it. Shaun gushes to People magazine about how Nina helped him prep for the Olympics. Nina's incredible. What an influence on my life. Not only does she run her own show, her own world, companies she's involved in, things she's producing, and all this stuff going on, she holds me to the same high standard, which is so wonderful to have in a partner. And a mom. I hate when men talk about all the things their partners do for them and how much they appreciate it. She lights up a room. She's so funny. It's all like, she helps me so much. Nina said, I'm really excited for him. Just to get into the Olympics at all is one of the hugest accomplishments, let alone get in 5 times. I'm so excited and I'm so proud of him. She also posted this. You will forever be the GOAT of snowboarding. Not to mention, you are also the GBOAT, greatest boyfriend of all time. Oh, Nina. Nina throws Shaun a surprise retirement party. And basically for the next year, the two go from gorgeous vacations in the Maldives and Costa Rica to Clooney Foundation galas to movie premieres. Shaun also says that he feels absolutely no pressure to propose to Nina. Here's Shaun, quote, I told her, I was like, look, after the Olympics, I finally got my freedom to do whatever. Let's just have fun and be together and support each other. But you never know. We'll see what happens. In October 2024, Shaun proposed after scrapping multiple different plans. Popped the question. Okay. He first planned to do it during the summer vacation, but Nina injured her knee in a dirt biking accident. She's so rock and roll, it actually makes me sick. Then he thought maybe early November when they're in Cape Town, but he could tell that Nina thought it might happen, and a bunch of Nina's friends also thought that was going to happen. So he's like, no, I want it to be a surprise. So then Shaun does this, and I do think he did an incredible job. I have to give him his props where props are due. Shaun has his publicist send Nina a fake invitation for an intimate CFDA Vogue dinner with Anna Wintour at the Golden Swan in New York City. And obviously, because Nina's not a fucking idiot, she accepts. It's a Friday night in late October. Nina is fully decked out in head-to-toe Chanel, heading to this supposed ultra-secret Vogue dinner in the West Village. And here's the gag. She thinks this whole glam session with Kate Young was being covered by Vogue, but it's all secretly set up by Shaun. So she's walking up the stairs to this very chic private room, and she's feeling stressed because she's a few minutes late to meet Anna Wintour and Vogue. I think this is fucking genius. The room is dead silent, no clinking glasses, no laughter, and when she opens the door, she realizes the only people in the room were a photographer and Shaun wearing Ralph Lauren under an arch of white roses. Gorgeous. I think that's a perfect proposal. He proposed, their family and friends came for caviar and champagne after. Incredible. It makes me want to cry. That is such a good fucking plan. Let me propose to you after you think you're meeting Anna Wintour, so you're dressed in the nines, you have your glam done, the photographer's here, and then we can have caviar and champagne with our closest people. That's a perfect proposal. And they ended up being so hungry that they ordered Shake Shack and dumplings to the venue. Guys, that is one of the best proposals I've ever heard. It breaks my fucking heart. On October 30th, 2024, they announced they're engaged. But even in their engaged era, they're not pressed about marriage. Nina says, quote, we're just enjoying being engaged and at this point and being in that phase because a lot of your life is you have a boyfriend for half of your life and then you have a husband for half of your life. But the fiance period is very short. So she's like, let's just enjoy being engaged. And I think having a fiance is sexy. It's sexy to be like, this is my fiance. You know what I mean? My fiance. This is my fiance. And it's true. You know, that's only like a year of your life or whatever. Sometimes 5, the 5-year engagement. It's a great fucking movie. I miss who Chris Pratt used to be too. Okay, back to the story. Short indeed. On September 7th of last year, she goes on a red carpet without her engagement ring, per People magazine. This week, they announced they're breaking off their engagement, which was followed by a wave of allegations that Shaun cheated. So at first, in my POV, I'm like, but everybody says that. Every time an engagement between a man and a woman ends, I feel the first thing people say is, oh, he definitely cheated, right? So I'm like being positive. I'm like, well, maybe, you know, their spark died. Maybe their schedules conflicted. Maybe it was like mutual for real. But the statements always say it was mutual. It's never fucking mutual. I can read a breakup statement like nobody's fucking business. I can scan that shit like Terminator and find the context clues. I'm like, Jennifer, what do you want me to read? Miss Aniston, you can see it. He cheated. He fucked Angelina. Moving on. A source tells Us Weekly there was no cheating at all during the course of their 5.5-year relationship. But now, Nina Dobrev, ooh, I dropped my pencil. But now, Nina Dobrev is posting the shadiest TikToks. I think Shaun fucked up. Tefi, how did he fuck up? I don't know, but I'm going to ask the stars. So let's forget what sources say. Let's forget the TikToks. What do the stars say about Nina and Shaun? We consider the science after this break. what are your favorite and least favorite smells in the office? Some good smells. The air at 5:01 when you walk out of your office and it's a long weekend. Ugh! Or a pencil sharpener. It's just something about that. Or a permanent marker, new permanent markers. Oh my gosh, worst smells. I think when you open up the dishwasher, you just want a clean coffee cup, don't you? Guess what? Steam hits your face, and all the smells of everything that was being cleaned hits you right in the nose. Horrifying. Another one. What about the breath of your work frenemy? Somehow, there's always hungry breath in the back, or like a tonsil stone situation, or like the darkest, evilest, most nefarious coffee breath you've ever had in your entire life. And then when they're like talking, you can see their lunch in their teeth and you're like, am I smelling your breath? Or is it what you ate for lunch? I'm so sorry. That's so nasty. Like, I'm thinking about it. And why is it always a person that you like hate? You know, like someone's leaving early. I'm like, it's 5:01. The air outside is waiting for me. Or what about when Jeff in accounting, you remember, it was a Wednesday, microwaved fish sticks in the lounge. As if our time wasn't bleak enough here on Earth, Jeff has the gall, the nerve, and the audacity to microwave 3 fish sticks. It also pisses me off that it was 3. There's no way that's gonna fill you up. Why 3 fish sticks? If you're gonna like fish stick bomb the freaking lounge, why not bring 5 or 6? 3? It's like taunting you. I just wish there was a way to protect us from Jeff's breath and fish sticks without aluminum. Which brings me to, you know what doesn't have aluminum? Dove aluminum-free deodorant. Dove does have coconut and pink jasmine and cucumber and green tea and 72-hour odor protection. I love the smell of 72-hour odor protection. And I don't love the smell of Jeff in accounting. And it's nothing personal, but it does feel a little personal when he's talking to me that close, you know? Like, let me work. Nina Dobrev, okay? She's born January 9th in 1989. The same year, The Little Mermaid came out. She's a Capricorn sun, Aquarius moon, and Venus in Sagittarius. There's something to be said about the Venus in Sagittarius, and we'll get to it. Capricorns, we all know a Capricorn. We all love our Capricorns. I'm a Cancer. Capricorns are my sister sign, right? Capricorns have a plan for everything, including your breakup, your future, your home renovation, right? This is why when the world shut down in March 2020, Nina didn't spiral. Capricorn sun thrives in disaster mode because I feel like every Capricorn I know is anxious, and anxious people are always planning for worst case scenario on the NAR. Yes. The moon sign, Aquarius, is a detached sign. When I say detached, people think cold. Nay. The Aquarius women in my life are wonderful. A bit paranoid, everyone's talking shit about them, and that's why I think Aquarians and Scorpios get along so well, or not at all. But she can be emotionally analytical. Aquariuses are the water bearer. They are attached to human justice, and they can see humanity objectively. I think I've said this before, but like an Aquarius moon is not someone to talk about like a best friend breakup, because they'll say things like, I can see both sides, like a Libra. And when you're angry, what's the last thing you want to hear? That you can see the other person's fucking side. But they can also see, they are people who need a lot of time to process feelings. Her Capricorn sun makes time to process them in her schedule because her Aquarius moon needs her to, or she will become like a recluse. But a Sagittarius Venus. Sagittarius is not detached, but I will say they're here for a good time, not a long time. And when they do attach, they don't just fall, they bungee jump, okay? Nina goes on safari, snowboards better than Shaun, sends on, allegedly, I'm going with that narrative. Even though he's a 5-time Olympian, she snowboards better than Shaun and sends on full quarantine couple energy in Malibu. This is not a slow burn energy. This is a let's move in, let's get a dog, Let's quarantine together. Let's wash produce together. We're in this for the long haul, right? A Sagittarius Venus loves the ride and loves doing things for the plot. Shaun was born on September 3rd, 1986. He's a Virgo man, okay? Not only is he a Virgo man, he's a Virgo moon and a Venus in Libra. In my experience, Virgo men can be seen as very cold and calculating. And a Venus in Libra to me, I hate to say it, if you're a Venus in Libra, don't take this personally. The astrological signs are like building a sim. It's not just one sign. Don't be like, oh, Tefi fucking hates me. And I see the comments sometimes being like, I'm finding out about my chart one, consider the signs at a time. Venus Libras are great in many ways, but I can see them be a little spineless. So Virgos, Beyonce's a Virgo, nothing like Shaun. Virgos have an extremely high standard. They are highly detailed and extremely hardworking. Sometimes you'll see a lot of Virgos dating people they want to fix, right? Virgo moons never act out of impulse. They stay out of the drama and keep calm in emotional situations. I don't think you ever know how Shaun White is truly feeling. He can play face. You know what I mean? He could be having the worst day of his life, and he's what? Shredding gnar. So, do I know Shaun? No. But do I know Shaun? Yeah, that's what the fuck science is for. And now, for my favorite segment. Can I be a bitch for a second? Sorry. I was getting another call from my boss. They'll be fine. If you've been following me on the socials for a while, you know I like to say often, we're not eating enough fruit. As a child of a Colombian mother, you wake up in the morning, you have some fruit, you have fruit juice with every meal, fruit. And now society's like, no more fruit. We need to focus on protein. Last night, I'm having a gorgeous piece of meat on a bed of peas. And I start thinking to myself, not only do we need to eat more fruit as a society in this protein-obsessed world, what about our fiber? What about peas? Peas are delicious. If somebody said, here, snort this Metamucil or have this handful of peas, I'm going for the peas. Peas are delicious. They're sweet. They're full of nutrition. You know how I know that? We give it to babies. Peas are so important, we give it to babies. Children are the future. How could we leave peas in the past? For me, at my big age of 35, even though I don't look a day over 34, to have to remember that I like peas. We can't just throw away peas. We can't treat peas like kale. And let me remind you, we had to massage kale. We don't even have to massage a pea. A pea is just perfect. I grew up eating peas, and I don't regret a moment of it. And let me tell you this. My mom came over in 1986, just like Hilaria Baldwin's parents did. She had a white roommate. Her name was Karen Dunn. We love you, Karen Dunn. And she gave her the recipe for the tuna casserole. And to this day, it is on my refrigerator in Times New Roman. People ask me, if I'm going to your mom's house, can she make the tuna casserole? It's so delicious. What's the main ingredient in tuna casserole? Okay, fine, it's fucking tuna. What else? Cream of mushroom. Okay, you got me there. And peas. Peas pair well with everything. I'm so sick of society taking things from us. I miss plastic straws. I understand the turtles cannot handle it. We get it. But peas? Why rob people of peas? So you're telling me if I'm not a fucking baby, I don't eat peas anymore? Fuck you. So what did we learn? I love Rosie O'Donnell. Taylor Frankie is changing the Bachelorette and media for swingers everywhere. Hilaria Baldwin is ashamed of her local aquarium. Mariah Carey is an activist. Shaun White is a Virgo man, and no one thought to tell Nina? And peas are coming back if it's the last thing I do. Bitch. If you're not already following the show, find us everywhere at Tefi Talks. We're on YouTube and all the podcast platforms and Instagram and TikTok so you can share with your other work bestie. Ew. Do you like her more than me or something? Tefi Talks is produced by the Vox Media Podcast Network and The Cut. For a special discount on New York Magazine and The Cut, visit nymag.com/Tefi. See you next week. I'm gay. Like Ellen. Support for Tefi Talks comes from Macy's. Layering is an art form. It requires a bit of intention, style, and of course, the perfect cold weather staples. You can find the perfect look for you with the help of Macy's Fall Fashion Guide. It's your one-stop shop for fall's latest trends and must-haves, curated by their experts. From leather to denim to cozy knits, it makes it easy to piece together a look that feels true to you. Explore the Macy's Fall Style Guide for yourself and shop in-store or online at macys.com. Thanks to Dove for their support. You'll know you found the one when you realize they make you feel comfortable and confident at the same time. That goes for your love life and for your deodorant too. Dove aluminum-free deodorant will keep you feeling and smelling fresh for up to 72 hours. It's made without aluminum, parabens, and baking soda, and it's gentle on your skin. The search is over. An aluminum-free deodorant that won't let you down. Find your one true Dove. Choose Dove aluminum-free deodorant for 72-hour freshness and odor protection. Buy online at dove.com or at a retailer near you.